What if the very act you believe will bring you justice is actually the poison that will destroy everything you hold dear? This is the story of how seeking revenge and love doesn't heal the wound, but guarantees a deeper, more agonizing scar. Meet Liam and Olivia. Their love story began like a fairy tale. College sweethearts, they were inseparable. Everyone predicted they'd be together forever. Then, 4 years into their marriage, Liam made a mistake. A devastating mistake. He cheated. It wasn't a long affair. It was a single, drunken lapse in judgment during a work trip. He confessed immediately, consumed by guilt. Olivia was shattered. The betrayal ripped through her, leaving a gaping wound that refused to heal. Liam begged for forgiveness. He went to therapy. He changed his habits. He cut off contact with the other person. He dedicated every fiber of his being to winning back her trust. For months, Olivia walked through their beautiful home like a ghost. She knew Liam was remorseful. She saw his effort. But something inside her whispered, "He hurt you. He shattered your world. Don't let him off easy." She began to believe that true healing, true justice, would only come when Liam felt a fraction of the pain she felt. He needed to earn his way back. Every agonizing step. This was no longer about forgiveness. It was about rebalancing the scales. It was about making him pay. The first sign of this shift appeared subtly. Liam planned a surprise weekend getaway. A romantic cabin trip, just like their early days. He hoped it would help them reconnect. He presented it to Olivia with a nervous smile.
A cabin trip? That sounds nice. But I can't. My sister just invited me over that weekend. I already said yes.
Liam's heart sank. He knew her sister hadn't invited her. And he saw it, the flicker of triumph in her eyes. It was a small jab. But it landed. He told himself, "This is what I deserve. This is the consequence." Still, a question lingered. Was this about healing? Or was it about retribution? The honeymoon phase of reconciliation was over. A colder dynamic had taken its place. Olivia's acts of quiet revenge became more frequent, more calculated. Liam would come home eager to connect, only to find Olivia laughing loudly on the phone with a friend. The moment he entered the room, her tone would change. Cold, distant. She ignored his texts for hours, but replied to a coworker's message within minutes. She spent lavishly on herself. New clothes, spa days. Then casually mentioned how low their joint savings were. Liam accepted it all. Consumed by guilt, he told himself this was penance. This was the price of redemption. He tried harder. Apologized more. Overcompensated. But the more he tried to please her, the more targets Olivia found. One evening, Liam overheard a conversation. Olivia was on the phone. Her voice was hushed.
He's trying so hard. He bought me flowers again today. But it's not enough. He still doesn't get it. He needs to feel it.
In that moment, Liam understood. This wasn't about repairing the damage. It was about inflicting damage. Earning back trust had become making him suffer. Olivia wasn't building a bridge. She was building a prison of guilt. And Liam was her inmate. Then, a glimmer of hope. One evening, after another pointed jab, Liam didn't apologize. For the first time, he spoke differently.
"Olivia, if this is about making me feel as bad as you did, you've succeeded. But it's not making us better. It's making us worse. And I don't think you're healing either."
Olivia flinched. For a brief second, the woman who once wanted healing reappeared. Then the mask hardened again. The final confrontation came during their annual vacation. A trip planned long before the betrayal. They stayed in a secluded cottage. Liam tried one last time. He cooked her favorite meal, lit candles, set the table. He wanted to talk, really talk.
"Olivia, please. I know I messed up. I'm trying. But this constant scorekeeping, it's killing us. Are we ever going to move past this? Or are we going to live forever in this prison of retribution?
Olivia finally looked up. Her eyes were cold.
You think this is a prison? Do you remember what you did? Do you remember how I felt? You don't get to decide when I'm healed. And you don't get to decide when you've paid enough.
Then she said the words that broke him.
Sometimes. I don't think I want to heal. Because as long as I'm hurting, you have to keep trying. That's the only power I have left.
In that moment, Liam understood everything. This wasn't about pain. It wasn't about forgiveness. It was about power. He no longer saw a wounded wife. He saw a captor. Revenge had consumed her and erased the woman he loved. Liam didn't argue. He didn't beg. He stood up, left the cottage, and booked a flight home. He knew he couldn't heal someone who refused to let the wound close. This wasn't a victory. It was a tragedy. Olivia sought justice, but built a monument to her own pain. Liam learned that remorse doesn't guarantee forgiveness. And sometimes, the hardest act of self-love is walking away from someone who is poisoning the very well of connection. Living for revenge and love is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It doesn't punish them. It destroys you. Forgiveness isn't a gift to them. It's freedom for you. Olivia thought revenge would bring peace. It only brought more pain. Would you have stayed? Or would you have walked away? Share your honest thoughts in the comments.